Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a winged scythe build guide in Elden Ring. What's nice about this weapon is it deals a ton of damage and it scales off of dexterity and faith and comes with that really cool weapon art there. So I'll be going over all the leveling guide if you're at level 150, but if you're a lower level I'll talk about what stats to put up first. So this is with 50 vigor, you want to get your vigor up to 30 first and then continue to pump that as required for bosses. 24 mind allows us to use some incantations and also use our weapon art. I got 34 endurance, 16 strength to be able to equip this weapon, and I went with 54 dexterity. This is boosted by +5 with Millicent's prosthesis. I will go into talisman in just one moment. The 16 strength is required to be able to equip this. 26 faith, so this is with this circlet of white light, but we can go with the white mask. That's kind of the best choice for our helmet there. And 16 arcane, which allows us to cast swarm of flies, triggering the bleed buildup, giving us a 30% boost to our damage early, which is huge. So white mask gives extra 10% damage, and Lord of Blood's exaltation gives you 20% damage for an extra 30 damage after we trigger blood loss, which is huge. I went with the rotten wing sword insignia and the Millicent's prosthesis to increase damage as we continue attacking. However, you can use a shard of Alexander. Also, you can use a claw talisman and go with jump attacks. So I went the Gravebird armor. This is the same thing as the Raptor's Black Talons. Gives you an increase to your jump damage. Now, the way we want to be going about this is starting with Golden Vow, because this weapon requires 24 faith. We may as well take 1 point more to get a huge bump like that. So once you use Golden Vow, then use Flame Grant Me Strength, and you're going to start combat off with the Swarm of Flies. This is going to trigger the Blood Loss buildup that we got, and then we can switch out and use another Scythe. Once the Blood Loss is triggered, we're going to deal a ton of damage, so we'll basically, one-shot these here. It's 1200 damage for a sync, just an R1 tap, but you can also go with the L1 attack here, which is a dual attack. It does a ton of damage. The nice thing too is this will attack through shields, so if you're facing off against anyone that's shielding against you, you're going to see here, it'll deal damage through it. It gives a 40% boost to damage through shields, which is nice because that'll allow you to take out enemies a lot quicker. But once you get going, it's really just as simple as starting with that attack. If you do it from too close, you're actually going to miss with the first swinging, or the second one there, so you got to do it from a slight distance to be able to hit them with both if you press L1. But even so, you can go with the weapon art here, as the weapon art's really powerful. The Angel's Wings, it's very similar to Loretta's Slash, but as you can see there, it'll stun lock some enemies, so you can continue to spam it too, which is really nice. But the Winged Scythe, it does dexterity, or I guess it scales off dexterity, but also your faith stat. So as you level up, put more points into faith and you'll be able to cast some different incantations. But overall, the damage is going to be basically scaled off of our dexterity. So I'll show you another way we can go about doing this setup. So if you don't want to focus more so, if you want to do more so just like jump attacks, which is actually really powerful because the reach of these is so high, I would go with the Gravebird armor or the Raptor's Black Feathers. Again, you always want to start with Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength. These are just huge buffs. And then I always like to start with the Swarm of Flies, because that just allows us to trigger the bleed buildup for that extra 30% damage, which is quite huge. So once you see the blood loss is built up, go to jump attacks. So you can see right underneath the stamina bar that there's the Lord of Blood's exaltation there. So that means that we got the buff active. 2800 damage for a jump attack is absolutely crazy. So yeah, these work really well against a lot of enemies. Now there is the holy resist. That is one thing to note. So if you're fighting a boss that is got a lot of holy damage resist like the Elden Beast, I would use a different weapon. But yeah, these clean up really quickly, so they're a lot of fun to use too. It has a pretty good power stance moveset, and even the dodge attack is great too, so you can combo it into another attack, but I think that the jump attacks are its best attack there. So that was without the extra boost from Flame Grant Me Strength, as well as the extra boost from triggering the blood loss buildup, and we were still able to one-shot. So the range on this is incredible too. So the Winged Scythe is an incredibly powerful build in Elden Ring. That's how you use it. And thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below, and I'll see you all in the next video.